Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas and you are watching Mentor Mayur. In this show, we sit with someone who has been a sincere and intelligent student of life and has picked up that insight which is priceless, and that value is being shared wholeheartedly in this show. So we thank and I welcome with gratefulness to Mentor Mayur Dalalji. Namaste.
Namaste,
Swagat hai
Ashok bhai.
So how are you, sir?
Wonderful. I'm
So-
blessed.
So I want to begin by the word blessed. Some people feel they are blessed, and some people feel, why me? And what is it that causes the difference? Because both might be in the same set of circumstances, but may have different reaction to it.
This is all about how you are trained or how you have trained your head and the heart. Those who live in the scarcity mindset are always unhappy even with 95 percentile of the progress because they want to achieve that last 5 percentile. Those who have abundance of mindset and say we are so blessed that we are amongst 85 percentile, 15 percentile we still have to serve. So when you talk about abundance versus scarcity, it is all about contentment versus greed. And that's why people who feel blessed, they are content with what they have and they live in the moment.
So be content and live in the moment. Now again, there are n number of thoughts at any given point of time. So being content and being in the moment is also not easy. So we'll try to learn with your help, sir. And also there is another word which we were talking about before we begin talking on camera was transcendence. So being in the moment and transcendence both are interrelated somewhere.
Absolutely. If you are living in the moment, you are not distracted. When you are completely transformed to the new way of doing, new way of thinking, and new way of living, then everything else becomes rudimentary, which you no longer focus on. So when you talk about basically denial, rejection, acceptance, validation, and the transcendence. So we all go through 5 stages of life in every stage of life cycle. When you talk about denial, it is a victim's mentality. Why me? I'm born to suffer. I'm born to lose. I'm born to be, I was told I will never ever be successful. This kind of mindset are not victim mindset, but they become the victims of their own inertia. When they become victim of your own inertia, you hold yourself back because your thoughts are not uplifting you. Your thoughts are dragging you. When you talk about rejections, you have a fear of failure. When you have a fear of failure, you always try to please others, so you live on borrowed wisdom. When you live on a borrowed wisdom, no matter how much you do, someone will always judge you and challenge you and say what you're doing is not enough. When you talk about the validation, the third step, acceptance, the third step. Acceptance is where others will say, listen, it was very hard for me to get you in. I did a favor. So you are accepted, now you become a prodigy. By virtue of seniority, whether it is in the university, whether it is in the job, whether it is in the non-profit organization, or whether it is in the family. The moment somebody says, you know, Ashok bhai, you are so lucky, you have now become a blue-eyed boy. So, you are very fortunate. You are accepted as a blue-eyed boy. Okay. Now, when you begin to believe that is true, and if it is not true, others have manipulated your emotions. And when the time comes, they no longer need you, they just let you go. So from acceptance you get rejected, from rejected you get into denial. So it goes into the reverse engineering of your progress of life. Now you go from acceptance, now you go to the next step. What is the next step? From acceptance you go into validation. 99% of the world live on validation. The award that is given to you, the trophies that are given to you, the rank that is given to you, and the recognition, which are the bonuses and the stock options, everything that is given to you, it's all validation. It's not a recognition of good work. It is a validation so that you keep on going in terms of your adrenaline, you keep on working, because remember, they have your time as a currency. If you can make 10x for them, they pay you $1. No one pays you $1 for $3 that you make. So when it calls, it's all about give and take, give and take, give and take. So when you talk about validation, you are told to be work like a horse, but live like a donkey. Work like a horse, but live like a donkey, because no one feels they're paid enough. No one feels they're paid enough. And that's why they're constant. I wish everybody appreciates what I'm doing and everybody pays me what I'm worth. And everybody has different way of measuring. And that measurement is what is creating that validation syndrome. You want to do something, and so you sacrifice your moral values or ethical values or personal values and your professional values to go back in the reverse engineering. When you go from now validation to transcendence, in transcendence, when you wake up in the morning, what's your calling? Your passion. What's your mandate? Making a difference in whatever you do. Whether you are a student, make a difference by learning. When you are a teacher, make a difference in teaching. When you are a mother or a father, make a difference in giving sanskars, values, and harmony-driven upbringing to everyone that you are making impact on. When you are a community leader, bring everybody together. And when you are a businessman, when you are a doctor, when you talk about every facet of life. Are you a builder? Are you a sustainer? Or are you a disruptor? If you become a builder, others gravitate to you. Because everyone wants to be part of the abundance. You can only build when you don't see what's wrong. You focus on what's working, what's right, what's the strength, and you bring everybody's synergies together, everybody's strength together, you collaborate and you exponentially grow.
So now let me ask you a question. Many times they say that this is a stupid question, but then some people said there are no stupid questions. But so let's say this is a stupid question. You said in the previous sequence of denial to rejection to acceptance, etc. And then while we are talking about builder, and in the context of builder, you said that the one who is not looking at what is wrong,
Focuses on only what is right.
Yeah, he is focusing on. Is it a kind of denial of the ground reality if there are some negatives? No.
We have an option to train our mind. 99.5% of the world think rationally, act emotionally. They want validation even if they fail. Why? Look at the children who wanted to get into a good university. There's only one position that is given, and you are not the one that is chosen. So you get disheartened. When you get disheartened, what's right? What is right is my strength would be recognized by one university, and that university will become my collaborator. And I will give 200% of what I've got, because at the end of the day, it's not the title or the name of the university that matters, it's the person that believes in me. So what strength I have? You believe in me, you are my collaborator. What is right that I have done, you appreciate, you recognize, and you acknowledge, I will collaborate. So people get attracted to those people who would not scold, but who will appreciate and acknowledge. And that is the strength. That's why it's not a denial. It's a new way of thinking. And that is why when you become a buyer, not a seller, every candidate wants to sell himself or herself as, I'm the best candidate, sir, you will hire, and I would not let you down. When you become a buyer, You interview the person and say, am I the person, and is he the right person, is she the right person who I can spend rest of my life with? When Arun Tiwari joined Dr. Abdul Kalam, he was an ordinary scientist. When Abdul Kalam became president of India, Abdul Kalam was promoted in Arun
Tiwari.
Arun Tiwari was promoted in place of Abdul Kalam's position. He helped. He was not a writer. Abdul Kalam entrusted him because he saw the strength. He is a details driven, he is a loyal person, he is not looking for the time, and he is a doer. So when he wrote 4 books, every one of the 4 books, Arun Tiwari was the co-author without being writing degree. He was a scientist. And today, Transcendence has become the highest seller of all times, not of the self-help book, but life-changing book.
So life changes when we pay attention to what we hear from people who have this ability to share the wisdom, and in order to process it and to make it our own, we try to weave a pattern so that it trickles down and it becomes a part of us. So if I may, you mentioned about validation, and the way you talked about validation looks like seeking validation is not a good way to go. But allow me to add another side. And then you also said that people gravitate towards those who are appreciative and encouraging. So people who are appreciative and encouraging, meaning they are giving you some sort of validation. So
that is not true.
Okay.
That is misunderstanding and misconception. People who appreciate, they connect with your heart, collaborate with your heart, and lead with your heart. People who are validating are only seeing your potential to deliver in the time that you have been given for the skills that you bring to the table. So they don't see you as a human, they don't treat you as a human. And that's huge disconnect, and that is the reason why today's younger millennials, those who are watching, Gen Xers, those who are watching, this is a biggest gift that is given to you. You connect with people who are uncle, auntie, your employer, or even the entrepreneurs that you are working with, who understand you. So you seek their guidance. You don't seek validation. None of you wants the favor. Everyone wants to be appreciated, acknowledged, and rewarded. No one is asking for pay. And that is why if you see during Obama's election, people who were admitted in the best of the best schools took 1 year of hiatus to work with Obama for $7 an hour. They were getting in Ivy League schools like Harvard and Stanford and what. Why would they let go of $250,000 of income opportunity to work? Because Obama connected with the heart. He collaborated with heart, and he compassionately made a difference with heart.
I think that makes very, very clear.
So his lack of experience, he had only 3 years of political experience. 1 year as a senator and 2 years as a state senator. Only 3 years experience to become president of the United States is unfathomable. He used only one simple thing: younger generation understand emotional engagement and let me connect with them. And that made all the difference.
So connecting with the heart makes all the difference, and Mayur Bhai or mentor Mayur ji is connecting heartily, and there is this energy which is directed towards finding a way so that he can help us move towards next level. That is what mentoring in some ways all about. And coming back to the word transcendence, so when some people are caught in certain orbit and they kind of have a sense of inertia because you develop a habit pattern, and so how to break that? Is there any?
I'm going to give you a metaphor. Whenever a spaceship is going on a mission, there are two parts to that. One is a shuttle, and the second one is truly the spaceship. After it leaves the earth, the shuttle leaves and the spaceship goes. The speed of light is unstoppable, but that's not the torque with which the spaceship took off, right? So what's the difference? What is holding back are our tamasic life journey. What is motivating us is our rajasic life journey. But what is liberating us is our sattvic life journey. Sattvic life journey is rocket ship. Once you are liberated from the fault finding, once you are liberated from entitlement, once you are liberated from the expectation management, then tamasikta and rajasikta automatically will become minority, and when it becomes minority, it would no longer be able to hold gravitational force to hold you back and hold your progress as a human being. In life, when you want to really look at transcendence, there are 6 part of non-financial and non-professional. So your physical well-being, if you are calm, you are able to sleep well at night. If you are clear, you are able to sleep well at night and meditate well. And if you are crystal clear, you are able to do yoga, breathing exercise, meditation, spiritual reading, being humble, to seek constantly the truth of life, purpose of life, reason for life. Second one is personal well-being. That is who you are, what you stand for, why are you here, are the reflections about constantly evolution about you as a human being, to uplift you so that people who are not really important, that can take you to the next journey of spaceship, should not be there in your life. Third one is your emotional well-being. Most of us get caught up in the emotional trauma, emotional drama, and emotional blackmail. If you want to be liberated, you have to unconditionally and selflessly love without any expectation. When you have unconditional love for any relationship that you have in life, whether it's job, whether it's family, whether it's friends, or even for community and clergy, then all of a sudden you are a servant that is serving the God, the devotee that is serving the teacher. And when you have this level of humility, you never ever carry any rajasikta about whether or not you are recognized, acknowledged, appreciated, or others. So that brings us to the spiritual path of life, which is when you see the purity, divinity, and divine in everything and everyone, then you are seeing what is one thing I can learn from Ashok Bhai, what is one thing I can learn from our friend, what can I make a difference in life, and I have to be constantly student for life in a journey of life. That brings us to social. In most social conversation, only conversation that is going is about everyone that doesn't matter to us in life. Whereas in reality, the word social means I have to seek to understand by listening to your journey of life, and you sharing, and I understand, I would become value added to you. Same way, when I share my journey, you share your strength, it all becomes now a wonderful way. So when you talk about all of this together, this becomes now a rocket ship fuel that can uplift you, liberate you, transform you, and take you to the next trajectory of life, which is transcendence, where tamasikta will not matter and bother, rajasikta will not matter, not bother, and you won't care less for who recognizes you.
So you won't care less for who recognizes you, but I recognize that you want to grow, you want to move towards the next level. And if you are resonating with the expression of Mentor Mayur Dalalji, you probably might be thinking, is there any way that I can have direct benefit of interacting with him? In that direction, I would request what would be your guidance or advice for some of
So
our
for
viewers?
everyone that is viewing, I have committed to my grandpa, my Dadaji, that I will do selfless act of kindness every day in my life. And last 59 of the 62 years of my life, there is not one day that has gone. So for all the viewers who want to learn and are committed to make a difference, committed to go through the process of transcendence, for every facet of well-being I mentioned, there is a scorecard, and I'll be very happy to have something that can become a peer. You identify who you trust, and each one of you help each other. So we are in process of building the community. where for every facet of life, physical well-being, personal well-being, emotional well-being, financial well-being, professional well-being, spiritual well-being, and social well-being, we would provide nurturing, guidance, podcast, and we are building the community for a very, very nominal price, not making profit, but help each other, to support each other. So if any one of you, all of you are interested, feel free to reach out to Ashok Bhai, or you can reach out to us at 516-788-3028, and we will be happy to assist. Send a text message and we'll be happy to send the scorecard to you.
So there is a scorecard also, which makes it more interesting, and feedback always helps in, that's why we have the milestones on our way wherever we are going. And nowadays our GPS also constantly tells us how much time is there, or how far we have to go. Is it important that we know the coordinates in terms of our growth, and we have some measurable units that...
So you use the word GPS. What does GPS stand for? Tell me.
God positioning system.
No. Goodness, purity, simplicity. We create complexity and justify. We blame others for making us impure. And we just say we are good human beings, but others don't understand.
Correct. Most of the time that's what happens.
Right? Whereas if you go in a reverse cycle and say, unless I see good in everyone and good thing that they have done, I won't go to sleep. Unless I make every single day effort to become purer by 1% today, in next 100 days you will become purer than what you are today. And only you know consciously, if you thought negative, you are impure. If you speak negative, you are impure. And if you write negative, you are impure. And if every day you do thrice a day, my friend, it will take you 360 days to become purer. Whereas if you are becoming sicker, and all of you who do not have, please buy a journal of 360 days, so 360 pages. If you can't have it, 100 times 4 journal you should buy, because every day, if you could do only GPS of today, what is one good deed I did? What is one pure act of kindness that I exhibited? And what is one thing I gave up to make my life simpler? And I'll give you a beautiful example. When people go for Vipassana meditation, for 9 days they are forbidden from using their phone, any form of communication, reading, printing, writing, nothing. They are with themselves, by themselves, for themselves. After 9 days they are saying, oh my God, I found new myself, because I wish I could give this much time. Now, they made a decision to make their life simpler by dedicating that 9 days to Vipassana. We have a choice to make 1 hour a day for ourselves, 23 hours for others. But if you can't find 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes before you go to bed, my friends, we are making our life complex by choice and by design. Because today, technology has become disruptive, information has become abundance, and both combined together is what we call it as the most addiction that everyone has taken by choice. Everyone has an answer through Google Doctor. Everyone has answer through WhatsApp Doctor. And everyone has an opinion how Trump should run the country or how Modi should run the country through their expression of Facebook or Instagram or what have you, or Twitter. But do they have simplicity of life? What can I do myself, and what have I done today for myself to make me a better human being? So if you do this GPS, this is pointer, this is accountability, this is consciousness, and this is truthfully telling your soul that I am the soul and I would never let myself down.
I am the soul and I would never let myself down. I just repeated that as a mantra, but I think this is a very potent mantra, and the pragmatic way of making use of GPS, which is goodness, purity, and simplicity. And you also talked about one simple act of kindness every day. So as we move towards the concluding part of our conversation, sometimes people are not clear as to what is it that I can term as an act of kindness. So if it is possible for you to maybe share one or two examples where you would say that if you were in that stage of writing your GPS and you would have said, I did this today and it is an act of kindness.
So yesterday, this is my real, and I'm sharing with everybody. Yesterday, one individual called me and was profusely crying, had nothing to do, and says, I need your help. I let that person express the emotions, and within 5 minutes I just ask one question. If today happens to be your last day to live on the earth, what is one good deed that you wanted to do, you're yet to do? And person listens to me and said, give a hug to my children. I said, how old are they? He says 8, 6 and 5. Are they home? Yes. Would you mind putting the phone on the side and please give them a hug and come back to me? Came back, again started crying. And I said, okay, what is going on? He says, my parents don't understand me. And they're blaming me for a lot of stuff that I haven't done. So I said, okay, there are simple questions I have to ask. Very simple question. What they are saying, is it the truth? Person said, no. I said, so who knows the truth better than you? Are you biased, or you know for the fact that what they are saying is not the truth? He says, no, I know for the fact that what they are saying is not the truth. I said, fine. Is it relevant to what they are saying? He said, yes, I'm upset. I said, is it relevant? Will it hurt you from producing the outcome that you want in the relationship through a good deed like how you did to give a hug to your children? Can you give something back to the parents who don't seem to be enlightened about your truth, and share them the truth, and don't expect the outcome from them? Just share. Would it change? I said, again, you're expecting. Don't expect the outcome happen. This morning, this person calls and said, Uncle, you are a magician. I said, what happened? He said, both parents profusely apologized and said, I'm sorry, all along we misunderstood, misinformed about this particular thing. Thank you for sharing. So it came down to the last one, which is simplicity. I said, so what have you done to simplify your life now? He says, what should I be doing? I said, can you do me a favor? Zoom is free. Tell your mom, I will do a Zoom video call every day. Can your face lie? I said, no. Can you see your mother's and father's face and see that whether they are doubting your intentions? He said, yes. I said, can their face lie? He says, no. So if you feel that they don't believe in what you are sharing, it is now your time to go back to do one more time and continue to put your efforts effortlessly. Because remember, this is your DNA. They have paid 30 years of their dues to raise you. Now you are 38, 39. Now it's your time to empathetically listen to and just help them understand what the truth is. So this is real life.
Beautiful. I really appreciate that profound sharing. And with that, we come to the concluding part of today's session. It has been elevating in several ways, and there are many important practical tips that Mentor Mayur Dalalji shared with us today. I appreciate that, sir.
Thank you, Ashok Bhai.
Thanking him and thanking all of you for being with us with lots and lots of good wishes. See you next week.